This is The Parker's Couch with Cameron, Carlon, and Carl, the Parker brothers. Some material is for a mature audience. Sit back and enjoy. It's just like when it comes down to some of those critical plays, like he still kind of makes that mistake.
He's young. He's going to make those mistakes.
He's young. You got to stop hating on the light skins, brother.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
There's something going on over there.
We're here once again on the couch, here with the Parkers. What's up, my brothers? What's going on?
What's up? How y'all
Hello,
doing?
America.
Hello, America. It's been a minute since we've been on the mic, but we are back. Football season is back in full effect. And of course, we are here for that. To cover that, we just had a presidential debate as well, which we're definitely going to get into. But let me check in with my brothers first. What's going on there, Carl? We're going to start with the oldest.
Everything is lovely, brothers. I want to give a shout out. We did celebrate a birthday together.
We did.
Extended some hospitality out in Chocolate City.
You enjoy yourself?
Still call it Chocolate City.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It's vanilla swirl. It's Neapolitan.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, it's a little swirl there, but enjoyed my time, and I appreciate the hospitality, brothers.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. No, it was a great time. It was good to see you. Definitely good to see you. What about you there, Carlon? How you doing?
I'm happy to be here.
Are you?
Yeah. Shout out to one of the greatest movies of all time. Happy to be here. Yeah. We lost a great one, so that I was thinking about that movie, Coming to America.
Definitely lost some great ones.
Yeah.
We definitely have to give them those shout outs.
But it's a great day. Any day I'm here with my brothers talking some foosball.
That's right. And for the audience, I want you to look out. We're talking about one of the things we talked about whenever we met as brothers recently for the eldest, which he didn't say his line. What happened? Do we have a new change? Is he being demure? Is he being very mindful? He's being very mindful right now.
Very demure.
Mindful. and some things are better left unsaid.
Okay. But one of the things we talked about was our podcast name, and we're, want to add a little bit of flair to it. So we're throwing out some different possible names, but we want to throw it out to you, the audience. So look forward to a poll that you'll be able to find on our social media and on our YouTube page at the Parker's Couch, and vote on the name that you think is best to suit us. And you might be able to, if you have any thoughts, maybe throw in your own idea of what we should call our podcast. All right. But y'all ready to get things rolling on the Parker's Couch today, brothers?
Let's get
her.
All right. So let's kick it off with this much in the first down today. This much anticipated debate with Vice President Kamala Harris and that man, Donald Trump. I hate when they call him President Trump. I'm like, he ain't the president no more, y'all. Just don't call him that. Donald Trump.
Former President Trump.
Former. That line right there, she wanted to say, you mother.
You mother. Right.
But who won this debate, y'all? Would you say Kamala won? Would you say Donald won? Or would you say nobody won?
Can we say who lost?
We can say who lost.
Can we ask the question? Do you want to see a dead body?
I'll say the American people lost.
All right. Explain.
In my opinion, we have two flawed candidates that are running. If this is the best we have to offer, the American people lost.
Wow. Expound, please. I need further clarification.
So are we saying that former President Trump is the best Republican candidate that this country has to offer?
We don't have a Republican Party right now, brother. It doesn't exist.
And I think sadly, I
whatever
don't know who there is to really represent the Republican Party.
There isn't a Republican Party, guys. We have to wake up. We have one fascist party, one dictator wannabe with a cult. I don't want to call it a party. It's a cult. It's a cult of people who have formed a coalition who were able to infiltrate the Republican Party, kick out the George Bush, John McCain, Ronald Reagan type of Republicans, and have created an autocrat wannabe with a bunch of sycophants who will do anything and everything to appease and please him. And they don't give a rat's ass about America or the people like us who aren't billionaires. All they care about is the ruling class, their pocketbook, and power. That's not a party. So until this person is defeated and his sycophants, unfortunately, we only have one working party in this country as we speak. I never thought it would be the day that I would say I miss the old Republican Party. I miss actual debates about policy and, working together to make the country better. These people are out just to seek power and talk about how everything sucks. We're living in a hellhole. Nobody likes us. It's just not. I mean, to me, I'm refreshed by Vice President Harris. At least I do see people who are capable of smiling, people who are capable of actually trying to unify people people they don't agree with. I think she's building up a coalition, not just of people who are Democrats or leftists, but she has a lot of people who are centrists or people who are former Republicans from the party actually joining the coalition as well. So I take the opposite of what my dear brother said. I'm actually energized by her ticket. I'm just down the dumps if Trump wins because that means we're just really rotten as a society for real. That's how I feel about it.
What do you think Kamala failed to do, Carl?
Well, before we go on what she failed to do, I do want to say this. I think we can't be too snowed by Vice President Harris just because Trump is so flawed. I mean, he's such a flawed candidate that I would look good running against him. And just about anybody would look good running against him because he, as you can see, all she had to do was hit a couple funny bones and he acted like a petulant child out there.
Exactly.
And wanted to start name calling and whatnot. I just think as for the American people, we don't have a genuine candidate up there. I think both of them were a little bit disingenuous. They really didn't answer questions fully when they were asked straight up what certain policies were. Eventually, they warmed up to answering some of the things on policies. Trump basically wants to extend tax cuts that he enacted in 2017. And when you think about the differences in pay or in the cuts, as far as the middle class and upper middle class, the differences aren't that vast. It's just for the lower income that the differences are kind of vast if you look into their plans and what some of the budget models say out there for them. So one of the big things I look at is for taxes and for the economy, because right now, we as Americans pay entirely too much in taxes. I'm not seeing a high enough tax cut, a tax break I'm worried because that affects my bottom line money that I receive. That's my net pay. As a middle class American, I'm concerned about both of these candidates' policies and how they're going to impact me as a middle class wage earner. Now if I was out there living on Skid Row, then I would, gung ho about Harris's policies because her policies are going to give me more money after taxes. But as a middle class wage earner, I'm not so sure.
So you feel like the middle class is still being overlooked?
We are like the middle child. We're like Carlon.
Yep, absolutely. Overlooked. But brother, but that's the conundrum. I don't think any president can solve that. That's going to be up to the Congress. And the way we are so polarized as a country, we can't agree on diddly squat. So until we get our act together with the House and the Senate, the middle class is always going to get the short end of the stick.
Well, that's going to be a problem because we're 50-50 right now.
Exactly. So we have to break this curse somehow. That's why I'm a little more encouraged with Harris that she's bringing in some people who don't necessarily agree with her, that we can hopefully swing that pendulum little by little so we can get to that 66% or whatever we need to get some legislation passed. Because if she wins, then she doesn't have a huge majority in the House and the Senate. It doesn't matter who was the president, unfortunately.
What are your thoughts, moderator? I know you were leading into where did Kamala miss. Do you want to give an exposition on what you think she missed, though?
Well, for me, I thought she missed right out the gate. Like, I kind of had a difference of opinion with some stuff I was watching. Like, some people, kind of felt like, she represented herself well, like, and kind of got an overview of her plan and policies and stuff out there. But when the question was specifically about like how, they hit her kind of with a hard question right off. We're talking about the economy and saying how, people say that the country, you're saying the country is better off than 4 years ago. Like, how is it better type thing, man? And to really get in there in the economics. So because the housing, I get the housing thing and child thing. I get those little nuggets and those pieces that are dangling. I did want it. I wanted something. I guess with Carl, it's a little bit with what you're saying. We're speaking a little bit more to that middle kind of ground a little bit more with what's going to happen with some things. But I just felt like off the gate, she didn't really answer the question directly. And she kind of stumbled and fumbled a little bit.
I agree totally. I said the same thing.
And I felt like, though, when the second question came with the abortion, that's whenever she got in the groove.
Yes.
Started slicing.
I think y'all need to listen a little bit more to the message she's preaching. She and Vice President Walz, they are talking about the middle class a lot. So I think that as we get
hear it.
Yeah, as we get deeper into this campaign and they're able to nail down actual policy talking points, we can get there. But it's hard to have a policy talking point when you run against somebody without policy.
No, I definitely I agree with you on one hand. With me, it's just about the way that they talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's not, because I'm not one of those people. At the same time, I'm not one of those that's just like, oh my gosh, you got to hear policy. I'm not demanding just policy from her, and those demands aren't from Trump.
That's what I'm hearing, because that's all I'm hearing.
I'm not demanding
Harris
like
don't have policy. Harris don't have
point
policy.
Point by point thing. But I just heard the campaign stump, like, because I've heard all the campaign speeches, so I kind of heard those same things again in the debate, which I know you want to bring that to America because you're speaking to a bigger audience and TV, and so it's people who haven't heard some of these things. But to me, it's like she just didn't answer the question though directly. Like, she couldn't say how the country is better economically now. Like, what do they have working like right now that's making the country better economically today than it
I
was
just
4
don't think
years?
you liked her answer. She did talk about prescription drugs and stuff like that, how it's lower for seniors and how they want to incorporate that to all of America too, so you can save money in terms of health wise. Can't get to help your pocketbook in the long run. I think y'all are looking like for specific policy points. You're just not going to get that in the campaign like this. You're not
But
going to
like I
get.
said, like it's good stuff, but it's like seniors and
Well,
not
But she
middle.
says she's trying to bring it to all of America. That's her policy. Is whenever she gets in office, she don't want to do just seniors. She wants all of America to benefit from being able to negotiate with Medicare and Medicaid and things of that nature. And so she's talking about saving the pockets overall that way. I know y'all are looking for specifics in terms of inflation and grocery and I'm tired of reaching in my pocket, only feeling my leg.
I'm gonna just be honest though. I just don't think her economic policies are gonna be that much different than what we.
It's not going to be. If you don't have a Congress that can pass anything,
it's nothing like I'm like
nothing you can do.
But that's not like why I'm voting for her. Like it's not something that I'm like super excited about. I think it's better than what Trump is gonna do, but it's not something that's like making me go.
But the thing is, we got Trump policies now. That's why we have all this inflation because of the Trump tax policy, which they're not really they're not telling the world about.
So, here, Carlon, you're missing the point. You're talking about us missing the point. If we know that we're combating Trump's policies right now, then what actually is she going to put in place to ensure that we overcome those issues? So if I don't hear a plan, how can I vote for something that I don't know?
We're not going to know until after the Senate and the House has decided.
You're saying that, well, you're not going to get this. Well, how am I going to vote for that, for what I don't know, when I can vote for the devil that I do know?
Well, that's the choice you're going to have to make.
That's why I say the American people lose, because
I think they're going to get more concrete in terms of policy in the next couple of weeks, because I think the early voting starts in a couple of weeks or so. This is the first debate. They just jumped into this thing super late into the game. So y'all are expecting everything to be thrown at you right now, and she started off from behind. So she has to play catch up.
Again, you're making my point when I say we have two flawed candidates and the American people lose.
No, I just think the circumstances here are just totally different. We've never encountered anything like this before.
Again.
That is true. But I don't know. I'm not gonna go as far as saying the American people lose, though, brother. Like to me, there's very clear differences between the two.
It's clear,
and I do have a lot more confidence with Vice President Harris, even though I thought she railroaded Trump, and she met the mark way more than Trump did. I do think there was just some missteps, in my opinion, just in there where that could have been tighter and stuff there in the debate, or it just wasn't anything that really got me excited. Like I didn't hear something to be like, oh, I'm really excited about that. I ain't having no more kids. That $6,000 don't mean nothing to me.
Exactly.
I
understand that point. Totally. I totally get that point. I totally get it. But I'm just saying, I think it's coming. I can't guarantee it. I think it's coming.
We vote in November.
Right. It's September.
It is September.
October's always the juicy month. October is the month.
We need to be hearing something, and it's mid-September. We need to be here.
But people don't start paying attention mostly until October. September, October. This is the time for her to introduce the policies. So I think it's coming.
All right. You think it's coming?
I do. I have faith in Vice President Harris. I know y'all don't.
No, I do, but I'm just thinking about, and historically, like, there's not going to be much. They don't give you much on policy because I don't think it's going to be really any different. That's
I mean, it's nothing you can do until you know what the House and the Senate is given. I mean, you can talk about all the stuff you want to do, but if you don't have the votes, you can't pass the
I have just lost faith economically in America and what is going to happen economically. So my voting is like for other reasons.
Yeah, I'm not voting for economics
the best kind of thing, economics, or I think, or I feel like, or what would help even people. I would rather see people get breaks that aren't getting breaks right now versus the same old rich people getting all the breaks. But the Dems end up falling in that basket though a lot. Rich people still be getting all these bailouts and breaks. And
well, that's what I listen to Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Take the money out of politics.
They got something right. Like the crazy leftists got some things right.
Some stuff is right. Exactly.
That economics.
But I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna get the short end of the stick until something changes with the House and the Congress. We're stuck.
Well, I'm gonna make this one last comment. I'm just not gonna get snowed by the same old stories over and over again. Now, I will say that the Republicans pull on the Democrats' hold card out there on that reparations deal. And if we're going to keep getting the same old sob stories from the Democrats, you know, preaching about what they're going to do for the African American community, what they're going to do for, you know, whatever disadvantaged community, and nothing ever pans out. I mean,
the Democrats are never going to do anything for us. That's never going to happen. So we're going to have to do it ourselves. I told you we need our own party. We need a third party.
Hold on for
back both of these parties.
Carlon, let me finish, man. It's going to be the same thing. It's the same thing as you guys say about Republicans not meeting the mark. We got to hold the Democrats accountable for their actions as well. And if we're not doing that, we're being disingenuous to our people and to the American people, for real.
I agree 1,000%. I'm not beholden to any party at all. I said we need to get rid of both parties, honestly. But this thing we're dealt right now, today, as we speak. But I'm with you 1,000%. The Democrats are not going to pass their reparations. I know it's not going to happen unless we are able to get like-minded Democrats like us, or people that are not saying like Democrat, but people are like-minded in terms of wanting to do what's right for it to change. And I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening with Republicans or Democrats that are in office today.
All right. Well, that sounds like a wrap on First Down, fellas, and the presidential debate. Nice spirited debate here, brothers. And let's see what happens. But y'all get out there and vote in this election, please. Let's go on to second down, brothers, and let's turn it around to some football here. Week 1 is done. It is complete. And let me tell you, this was the wildest day one. It was very wild. Leading up to that first game and everything that was going down. And one of the wildest stories was out there in Miami. Now, the Dolphins ended up winning their debut game 20-17 over the Jags. But the story was before the game and everything that happened with Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill apparently was speeding. He stopped right there at the stadium, right there at his workplace. And we saw the footage of him being arrested, being detained, being handcuffed, being put on the ground, standing out there, then being forcibly set down, teammates pulling up and getting detained as well. Then we had body camera footage that came out later of the altercation. If y'all got a chance to listen to that. And Tyreek Hill today on Wednesday was saying, he had remarks saying about how he could have handled this situation better himself. He took some accountability and said, I could have handled myself better in the situation, looking back at the video and looking outside of myself and thinking about what I could have done differently internally than different than what my mind was thinking at the time. But I'm not, letting the officer off the hook for what he did as well. He needs to own up to his own actions as well. What did y'all feel whenever you saw this with Tyreek Hill go down first? Because I know it just pissed me the hell off whenever I started thinking about all the instances of interaction with cops and how traffic stops, little traffic things always ends to us getting out of the car and
every time
escalated situations that don't have to be.
Same old hat. It's the same things, and like I said, if we're not able to police our own, we're gonna keep getting this handed to us. But these actual cops, man, they're not receiving the appropriate training to actually handle these traffic stops and de-escalate situations that can be de-escalated. They actually come in with their butt on their shoulders. They have terrible demeanors when they come to the windows to actually talk to an individual. And that's one of the reasons why people, react a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed Tyreek wouldn't have acted the way he acted if he wasn't approached in the manner that he was approached. And that's usually the case when they see an African-American male with possible dreadlocks in their hair or, braided hair or anything Afrocentric, or any individual that doesn't look like the quote unquote norm. Cops are going to behave in a certain manner.
Mm-hmm.
And it is what it is. And it needs to be, preached loud and clear. That's what it is. And it needs to stop. Period.
I'm sorry. In that profession, it's just one of those professions where you have to act outside of how anybody else is acting in a situation. Like, I don't want to hear no more about, if he would have did this, if he would have just complied, or why ain't he just roll down the window all the way and the blah, blah, all these things. No, like, if you are in that level as a cop and that control over someone in that situation, like, I feel like you always have to have the clear head. They have the clear head. I've seen plenty of videos of white folks giving cops the business, and
stealing cars, pulling guns on them,
and just keep on navigating, doing whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when it's with us, like, those situations are tense. Like, it's just such a tense situation. You just never know how you're going to react sometimes in those situations. And sometimes you might not react the best way, but you're not threatening. I mean, and who doesn't? You tell me he didn't know who Tyreek Hill was?
Exactly.
You didn't know it right here in the state. You didn't know all these other dudes rolling up. Like, you didn't. Like, what is threatening? Come on now.
You in Florida, you don't know who he is. Come on, man. Now that's
no sense. It don't make no sense. Like, it just, I just don't understand, like, how anybody could take the side of a cop in this situation. I just really don't.
Jealousy.
I know from experiences when I used to have braids, cops treated me different.
Oh yeah.
Than when I was clean cut.
I believe that.
When I had braids, I used to get stopped on the regular. And when we were living in Greensboro, North Carolina, I used to get stopped so many times just because of the way I looked. Now, as soon as I cut my braids and, just had an even Steven going, I ain't get stopped not once. And I don't think it was a coincidence, man. It's our society, man.
I'm just over the expectation that you have to be 100% well behaved.
Yeah.
You can't show any emotion. You can't be upset as a person on the other side. You have to show deference, and they have to be the leader. They have to be the godlike figure. You have to give them respect. You're going to respect me. I don't care what kind of car you drive. All I saw was jealousy. He saw a black person with a car that he cannot afford unless he does something under the table. And he's like, well, I'm going to exert my power by showing that I'm above you in this instance right here. And I'm going to make sure that you're aware of that. And since I don't like your tone, I don't like the way you're addressing me, I'm going to make you get out of the car and I'm going to put you on your belly. And then I think Tyreek told him that, hey, I had surgery on my knee. You know, you're hurting my knee.
Mm-hmm.
And then he told him, I don't care about your knee. They're heartless and they're cruel. Like, why are you in this profession? Are you in this profession actually to protect and serve? Or are you in this profession to have some kind of dominance over somebody because you were a punk in high school?
I mean, they have complexes. That's who they are.
I agree. And you just want to, but something like this, it can galvanize. I feel like it seemed to really galvanize a brotherhood with the Dolphins.
I love that part
with this.
Yeah, I like that though. The brothers did stick together, man. That was good to see.
That was.
We going with you. So
and Tyreek even mentioned that he's like, yeah, we're a team now. Like, we are a team. So I think that can really be a galvanizing force, like you were saying, throughout the season.
It's some of those situations can bond you. All right. Let's go on to the Jets and Niners. Come on, Carlon. The Niners.
Look at my background, baby.
Look at mine too.
Fella.
Niners spanked some tail on Monday night there, 32-19 over those Jets. You know, that little 19, that little late touchdown. I guess we'll give you that. We'll give you that little touchdown there. But the big story coming in, Christian McCaffrey scratched an hour before the game. Jordan Mason showed up, 28 carries, 147 yards. But Jordan Mason spilled a little tea after the game, too, in this interview. Whenever they asked him, when did you find out you were starting? He said Friday. Not thinking that. They just said just an hour before the game that Christian was scratched. Everybody thought he was playing up until then. Now the NFL is investigating. It doesn't look like there's no 49ers gate going on, but it does have some of the people talking about that. And the people are talking about the Jets. If this is a bad sign for the Jets this game, or don't get too overworked because it's week 1.
I think Aaron Rodgers looked bad. He looked old.
He did look old, didn't he? He looked old.
Scrambling there, I felt kind of sorry for him. he looked real bad.
He looked like Joe Namath.
Yeah, he still has a fantastic arm, but I'll give it to the 49ers. The scheme that you guys have for your backs. If I was a running back, a multi-skilled running back, I'd to be on the 49ers offense.
Absolutely.
I hate y'all with a passion. But if I was a multifaceted running back, like the young man that ran the other day, what's his name?
Mason.
Mason. And of course McCaffrey. I would love to be in their shoes.
It's that system is just built for it. Like, I just love it. Like, if you're a back, and the backs run so hard. Like, they just run hard. They don't do that little pity paddling, dancing around, looking like.
Nope.
They get out.
They go north to south. North to south, baby.
Yeah.
North to south, one cut, and they hit the hole.
One cut, and that's it. Exactly. So I'm going to give the Jets fans a little bit of hope here. I'm not going to be too hard on them. First of all, Shanahan had all summer to gear up for this game. After that devastating loss in the Super Bowl, he was going to come out here to make it. So it's like he had all summer to game plan for this game. So I wouldn't get too caught up in how they overmatched the defense because it was just a bad matchup for them. So, but it wasn't a good precursor for them when they played Miami because Miami's in the division and they have a similar type of offensive philosophy. So it was good practice for them for later on down the road. And two, Rodgers hasn't played it for 2 years, 2 or 3 years. His mobility's gone. He's not the Aaron Rodgers that we're used to seeing, that's for sure. But it's just, I look at the NFL a little bit different now because the starters don't play at all really in the preseason anymore. So I look at the first quarter, the first 4 games, kind of like preseason. So I don't get too bent out of shape about the first 4 games of the season. Now, come week 5, if they still looking like this, I think we have a problem. I'm gonna give them a little runway. I'm gonna give them about 2 or 3 weeks to get us together.
All right, Mr. Hopeful.
A whole lot of optimism tonight from Carlon.
Hey, somebody got to bring the optimism, baby.
Mr. Optimistic
bring back
over
optimism.
A whole lot of optimism.
Well, you know what?
I'm more in realism, not fantasy.
It's one game. One game doesn't make the whole season.
No, it doesn't. But Aaron Rodgers is old and he looks bad.
Well, that's for sure. Now, that's for certain. He's definitely old and he's immobile now. He can't run around like he used to. But the offensive line did play a lot better than I thought they were going to panic.
Yeah, he didn't get hurt. Let's go on to the Packers. Now, there was an entertaining game on Friday night, 34-29, the Eagles over the Packers. But the big news was Jordan Love with his MCL sprain. Now, it's not being ruled out him not playing Sunday in the latest news.
Boo! Sit down somewhere.
He has not been ruled out of the game. So that, that kind of gives like some reason to not be too worried, but they are in a very, very tough division and they're already 0-1 right now. And now they have Mark Willis as their starting quarterback going forward until Jordan Love gets back right. Y'all think how soon will he need to return here? Like, I don't think he's going to come back week 2, but then making it look like a week 3 is possible. But I was thinking he was going to be gone a good 5 weeks or so at least.
Well, they're going to be 0-2 after this week.
Who they play this week?
The Colts.
Oh, they both got to win that game.
And the Colts look pretty good.
Yeah, they did. That was a great game.
Isn't it in Indianapolis or Green Bay?
No, it's in Green Bay.
It's in Green Bay, but they still going down. If Love doesn't play, they going down.
So is Jordan Love really that guy, y'all?
Who, Love?
Yeah. Is he really that guy to y'all?
I think Love is nice. I think he's actually a baller. I don't know if he's worth all the money they giving him, but I think for sure he's nice.
I agree. I mean, I kind of figured when they didn't put Love on the IR that he was not going to be out 4 games. So, but to play him next week will be stupid. So I don't think they're going to do that. That's just be dumb.
Yeah, but I think they're going to shoot him up and have him ready for week 3.
Week 3 he's going to play. Definitely week 4, possibly week 3. But Cameron, to answer your question, he's that guy. I like that he's not afraid to throw the ball down the field. Like it's a West Coast offense, but he will take a chance. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
He definitely will.
But he's got the moxie, and if you got a kid that can win the locker room, you're gonna win. You're gonna win a lot of games.
Those guys love him. Yep,
and he won the locker room.
Yep. Yeah. I agree.
No, that's true. That's true. And I've come around more to him. It's just like when it comes down to some of those critical plays, like he still kind of makes that mistake.
He's young. He's gonna make those mistakes.
He's young. You gotta stop hating on the light skins, brother.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Something going on over there.
You know.
And I don't think that division is going to be as tough as you think it is by the end of the year. I think it's going to be the Lions and Green Bay definitely are the top two dogs in that division.
Okay. All right.
Lions to lose. It's the Lions division to lose.
It's on the Lions bracket.
Definitely.
Yeah. In tennis terms.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, all right. Let's move on to third down, fellas. In the third down, let's get into some of the core games here that the fans enjoyed, that was trending and searching, and that we also enjoyed. We can start off with, we can throw our brother a bone here, Carlon, and start off with these Cowboys. I guess it's time to bring them into the show, who claims to be America's team. You know,
I'm not gonna be a front runner and put a background in my picture.
Oh, stop fire. Stop fire.
I'm gonna wait till we at least win a playoff series.
Well, that's a good idea. Well, your boys, though, they pulled out the 33-17 victory over the Browns. You know, they do what they do in week 1 of the NFL season.
Yeah, they always win by 40 points.
Blow teams out.
Yeah.
Jerry Jones did what Jerry Jones does right before kickoff, hits Dak with a humongous contract.
And he come out and look like trash.
No, he didn't.
You thought he was trash?
What was his? How many yards he passed for, Carlon?
Well, passing yards were down across the whole league last week.
They really were.
I found out the hard way.
179. If you must know.
I just asked a simple question. I didn't ask for all the
179.
I don't know. How many yards did he have? I have no clue.
179.
179 yards. How much did he get paid? How much did he get paid?
I think it was 240. One in like 4 years, 240.
Oh,
I think it's
$60
about
a year.
60 million a year.
$60 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
$240 million, right?
Yep.
This man just wrote you a check. Guaranteed. He's guaranteed to make 231 over 4 years. And he goes out there and passes for 179 yards.
Ooh, how much did he pay for that 179 yards? That's a lot of money he paid for that 179 yards.
179 yards. And shoot, CD Lamb caught most of them.
CD was CD was putting in some work.
He put in work.
Well, Carl, how much did y'all win by?
I'm looking at the performance of our quarterback.
He didn't have to throw the ball.
He's saying he's not talking anymore until he gets to a Super Bowl.
Well, he's gonna be mute for a long time.
Oh,
Carlon,
that's messed up. Now, brother, granted, the Browns defense isn't a slouch. It is the Browns defense.
The Browns defense is great. Now, I will say our defense was swarming.
Yeah.
Our defense was swarming.
And the special teams. Now, your special teams is very special.
Yes.
Our special teams is special. Our defense was looking somewhat nasty. I was glad to see Diggs get him an INT. You know, our defense was swarming, though.
Absolutely.
Parsons, Lawrence, them cats, they was everywhere. I can't say nothing about the defense. But what I will talk about is
you let the offense have it.
This putrid offense. And I'm just upset. If the Ravens ain't going to utilize Derrick Henry, why didn't we get him?
Y'all should have got him in the playoffs.
I don't know why y'all relying on Ezekiel Elliott.
On the gimp is Ezekiel Elliott. Dalvin Cook, I don't know where he was.
On the sideline.
Y'all picked up Dalvin Cook, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, Dalvin Cook, he's dead. He's dead too.
What?
Y'all got 2 dead running backs.
It's just so crazy how he died all of a sudden.
And he used to be dynamic.
He's almost 30. That's what happens. All that wear and tear on them legs.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why Dallas didn't pick up Henry at the trade deadline last year. That was the dumbest.
He's got a house in Texas. He wanted to be. He thought for sure he was going to Dallas.
That was just dumb, stupid.
That didn't make any sense.
Yeah. So my question is: do you support paying a quarterback $60 million? No. I think I'm more inclined to start over. I don't care who the quarterback is. I think I'm gonna start over.
Especially not that quarterback who's won 2 playoff games in how many years?
That's crazy.
But is
I'm
it
not
hurting
paying $60 million.
I mean, all that money in Jerry World.
I'd have took my chances on Trey Lance.
No, I don't know about that part.
I would have. I'd have went down into the dumps. I ain't paying $60 million for trash.
Now that one can't be topped. We're not going over that, are we? Like,
listen, I'll tell you what I would have done. I would have got old Milton from New England. He looked pretty good, and he has a rocket arm. He's cheap.
Who?
Milton from Tennessee.
Oh,
he's with the Patriots. Like, he's just sitting on the bench. He's not doing nothing. He's never gonna get in the game.
I don't know. If he delivers y'all a Super Bowl, it's going to be worth it for sure.
I doubt it. No, $60 million for a Super Bowl, I would never do it. I'd rather lose.
Now, if it's $60 million now, it's guaranteed the Super Bowl, I'm paying it.
No,
because you're gonna make.
You know how much you gonna make off of that?
You're gonna make $1 billion.
But when do you ever win again? You are handcuffed for a decade paying somebody $60 million.
I don't care. I'm gonna make $1 billion off of that Super Bowl ring, and I'm probably gonna make probably close to $750 million the next year just off of residuals.
That's true. Now y'all just try to win one time. I'm looking at longevity. I want to win multiple times.
Yeah.
Now, on the other side of that ball, Mr. Deshaun Watson, we can't move on without mentioning.
Oh gosh, do we have to?
This guy.
He's a disgrace.
New NFL lawsuit. Y'all go read that lawsuit. It is there's stuff in there, like just appearing in the woman's apartment, naked on her bed, and
bucket naked.
Yeah, just all this. What's allegedly, he denies it. The NFL, they're doing their investigating all this stuff. He's slated to play and stuff week 2 and everything right now. But is it time to move on from Watson? Like, to me, this is one of the worst deals in history.
How can you move on? You done paid him all this money.
I don't know. I mean, you got Jameis Winston right there. I just might go ahead and cut my losses.
Well, that's one we should have got over there in Cowboy land.
That's true.
I agree.
I agree with that. They'll sleep at the wheel in Cowboy land. And this looks even worse now that Baker Mayfield is lighting the league up now.
No.
Yes. It looks so sad.
Yes.
Why? Yes.
I don't think he could. I used to have this hope for Watson that he would return to some kind of form of what he was.
Well, mentally,
I mean, he can't pass the ball 5 yards accurately. Like what?
Mentally, he just can't overcome what's happened to him, man.
It's just too much.
Yeah, mentally, he's gone.
He's fried.
Yeah,
he should be a pervert.
Oh well, allegedly.
Okay, he should be a pervert.
We can move on from Mr. Watson. I think we're all in agreement with him. All right, y'all. Rams, Lions. Now that was a game. Maybe one of the games of the week. With the overtime there. What I was impressed with this win by the Lions in the overtime was that they won while playing bad. Like they played ugly. Like they did not deserve to win that game. Stafford was slicing them up.
He was cooking them.
He was cooking them. The Rams were like about on the deaf and the blind and everything else on their team by that point. They were just falling apart. But the Lions, they stuck in there and they actually gritted out a win. I was impressed by that. I really was.
I was mad because why did they stop running the ball? Why was Montgomery not on the field?
Remember you asked me, you said, did Montgomery get hurt? I said, no. Like they just stopped. And then all of a sudden, here he goes. You know, Dan Campbell, this play calling, that
I like they I mean the Rams,
trained.
I mean not the Rams, but the Lions are multifaceted. I get that. But run the ball. It's predicated on the run. Everything's predicated on the run. Jared Goff can't beat you by himself. No. So I think it's just going to be what's going to happen when the run gets stopped.
I'm not impressed with Goff. He's like a middle of the road guy for me.
Absolutely.
Everything has to be right for him to win. Like the line has to hold up. The running game has to be intact. You know, the receivers got to get open. But they have so many good pieces. It's hard not to be good.
And the way Williams, he blossomed that night. I don't know what happened to St. Brown.
He ruined me too. He ruined me on
the
Sunday.
Lions have some weapons though. Jameson, Williams, they got some stuff over on this side, man. I did feel kind of sorry for Los Angeles because they lost a good receiver, man.
Oh yeah.
Nakua,
I think their line was hurt too, right? Were they playing like a bunch of backups?
Yeah, they had like about 2 or 3 linemen that went.
They had 2 linemen. Yeah, that they lost 2, right? Yeah,
they was just losing everybody left and right.
And I like their backs. Like the Rams to me are going to be really good. The Rams and the Lions are teams that I'm nervous about, and I
always hate when we play the Rams. Like I just hate it.
Yeah,
that.
And Cooper Kupp, he just catches balls.
I was just about to say that Cooper Kupp. Now he is somebody. He is nowhere near the fastest person.
He's the devil.
There is, but he is always open. Like he knows how to run routes.
He reminds me of Steve Largent.
Yes, he does so much.
Just a guy that just knows how to play football, man. He knows how to run his routes and get open. He sits down and catches them. He's got catcher's mitts out there, man.
Absolutely.
You know what makes me mad about him though is that he's like, forget it. I'm not going to get 2 feet in. I'm going to get 4 feet in. He tapped like 4 times.
He gonna make sure.
He's making sure. Yeah. Y'all working on 2, I'm working on 4, baby.
Yeah, that's true. He's a professional, man. I like him as a receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I'm supposed to hate all the Rams players, but he's a great player.
Yes, I agree.
And Stafford was throwing Stafford was coming that ball, baby.
He
made some incredible throws.
Well, he's playing against his old team, so he got the
you
got to put some stank on it.
Now that's someone who didn't lack in yardage.
No,
over that week, like 300.
No, he threw for 360 or 316 or something like that. He threw
for a lot. Yeah, he was slinging that for real. And let's end y'all on the Steelers and Falcons. Now, this ended up being a field goal contest for the Steelers, but they did pull out the victory there in Atlanta, winning 18-10. But Justin Fields stepped in and he started for Russell Wilson. And now the debate is, should they stick with Justin or go to Russell? What would you do if you were Tomlin?
Stick with Fields.
We'll stick with Fields?
Bump Russell Wilson. He's over the hill. He done got to Hollywood. I didn't really care for him when he was at Seattle.
I agree. I didn't really care for him too much, but not so fast, my friends. Not so fast.
Oh, please. He's hurt. The season's just started. Get him out of there.
I'm going with the young buck. The young buck has got legs.
Not so fast, my friends.
Justin Fields. Justin Fields.
If Russell can play, I brought him in here for a reason, and I need to see what I have. Justin didn't even get in the end zone. If you can't get in the end zone at all the entire game. 6 field goals is not going to cut it for this
entire team. Got them in scoring position. That's all that matters. They got 6 field goals.
What Steve Young say about kicking field goals?
A step closer to losers.
There we go. You playing somebody else. You playing down a broke down Kirk Cousins, who don't need to be in the lead no more. But that's another conversation. And
leave Kirk alone. Let him live.
His little broke down tale. If it was anybody else, the Steelers wouldn't have won that game.
No, I beg to differ.
Did you see that defense?
The Bears are built for position football right now. They have a great defense, great special teams. They really don't need Caleb
Williams. The
Bears
or the Steelers? Oh, you talking about the Steelers? Well, you could say the Bears.
With the Steelers.
They're similar.
They're similar. I'm sorry. The Steelers, they're built for position football. Period.
Mike Tomlin will get a win with me and you out there playing tackle.
He's going to win on defense.
He's going to win on the defensive side of the ball. I know it's archaic. I know everybody loves offense, the points and touchdowns, but defense still wins.
I brought for Justin. I want to see Justin succeed, but I'm sorry. I'm going to have to put Russell in. It's not a foregone conclusion with me. Justin did not do anything to run away with it. Like, he didn't make the mistakes and stuff to lose it, but I don't know. It wasn't a clear, like, oh my gosh, I can't turn away from you. Well, with that said, let's go ahead and end it off in our 4th down, fellas, and honor 2 greats that we have lost right now, and James Earl Jones and Frankie Beverly. You know, James Earl Jones is was one of the most versatile and talented actors of our time. You know, and his body of work was just truly iconic. In the same token, with Frankie Beverly giving us so many iconic songs. What are y'all thoughts on these icons, these legends?
Luke, I am your father.
You was wanting me to play that so we could end up having to pay a bunch of money too, wasn't you? There we go. That's our playing of it.
Yes.
I love it. Hey, how many movies and shows has Earl Jones been in?
Let's see if I could get a number. I wonder.
That would be,
but iconic movies like The Hunt for Red October, Field of Dreams, Coming to America.
You got to mention Coming to America, my friend.
Yeah,
and the Star Wars,
Star Wars.
Yes,
and
especially Return of the Jedi. Oh my gosh!
I just wish I had an opportunity to see him live theater, like on Broadway. Like, what he won with 3 Tonys? 3 Tonys?
I know.
That's crazy. I would love to see live theater with him. I would play King Lear and a few other iconic roles on Broadway.
That's crazy. And according to IMDb, he has been an actor in 190 projects.
Wow. That is crazy. Mufasa.
Yeah, can't forget the Lion King.
Simba.
Anytime I think of voiceovers, I just think of that's the voice that comes in my head.
That voice is everything.
Yeah.
It's the voice of God. If God could sound like anybody, it'll be James Earl Jones.
Exactly.
I agree.
And guess where he's from, guys? You know where he was born?
Where?
Mississippi.
Get out of here.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was born in Mississippi.
93 years old when he passed.
93.
93 win.
And Frankie was 77.
Yep.
93 and 77.
Before I let go.
Yes. The Bay Area musical legend that he is, Frankie Beverly. You know, he's been on the charts for almost 50 years.
Wow.
Now that's just amazing just to sit there and think about.
But he was performing he performed for so long, man. Shoot, I remember going to a concert of his, not very long ago.
Yeah.
Has anybody heard from Tom Joyner? Is he okay? Because that was his guy.
That was his guy.
That's what I think of. When I think of the connection those two had, like back when radio was a thing.
Yeah, he's somewhere in the fetal position right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly and Mays.
And I know Philly is going crazy right now.
Yeah, that's where he was that's where he was born, right? Mm-hmm. Philadelphia.
Oh wow. I know he's a Philly native.
The Eagles need to be playing nothing but Frankie Beverly.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I was trying to think of the other one before and Joy and Pain, right? That was one of the other. Yes, that was Frankie, right? That was one of my other favorite.
Sunshine.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was our song back in the day.
Yeah. Two icons. Gone too soon, fellas. Gone too soon. On that note, fellas, this has been a wonderful time to get back out here and record again with y'all.
Welcome back. I missed it.
Shouts out to Aja Wilson.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Aja.
Aja broke the single season
record, right?
Single season record tonight. So shouts out to her.
What an iconic season she had.
We got to keep giving her flowers. She definitely has been, in my opinion, overlooked for her prowess on the court. She should definitely be the face of the WNBA, and instead of someone else that I'm not mentioning right now.
Well, with that said, we'll see y'all next time. This has been a Rosie B production. You can follow The Parker's Couch on YouTube and TikTok. You can follow Cameron on Instagram at CDParker03, Carlon at Carlon1978, that's CARLON, and Carl at ParkC73.